Hey, bless up, everybody. What's going on? It's King Kevin in the building, reporting live from Atlanta. I just got back from Miami and Boynton Beach, South Florida, because we just had a shipment come from Atlanta thanks to ATL for Haiti.com, who was heavily involved with also Mission of Grace of Haiti, collaborated to have goods and products for the humanitarian effort to help our people at the Texas border and also in Haiti, more specifically for Haiti, because we already had a shipment of things go to the Texas border. We're going to ship out another group of people and shipload of hygiene, water. Bless up, y'all. King Kevin, the building. ATL for Haiti. Give a quick update. We're unloading the truck up right now. That was in Atlanta. So we in Boynton Beach, Florida. So the truck came from Atlanta. We in Boynton, unloading the truck. We got about 10 guys here. Another 10 on the way, possibly 20. And definitely appreciate it. Florida was in Palm Beach County. Forgive the sweat. So give a quick update. Once everything is done, it's probably gonna take us about a couple hours to get everything completed, but the work is getting done. Definitely appreciate everybody's support from wherever you are around the world. And Ms. Kim, what's the name of your nonprofit again?
Mission of Grace.
Mission of Grace.
Yes, we're here loading the container for Haiti. Thank you, Atlanta, for Haiti, for all the donations to help with the earthquake relief. So thankful. Yes, thank you.
Definitely. So you heard from Ms. Kim. Mission of Grace teamed up with Haiti, ATF for Haiti, and we getting it done. So anyway, bless up.
Step on that stomach, Dale. Step on that stomach.
Tents, tarps, baby formulas, Pampers. I mean, you name it. It's a bunch of things, So please continue to donate. These are small groups of volunteers. Most Haitians, but not all Haitians, but definitely people who care, who give a damn about Haiti, who are proud to be black, who really represent Black Lives Matter, not just when it comes to police brutality. As a matter of fact, where is Black Lives Matter? Where is Black Lives Matter at a time like this if it's really about black rights around the world? I'm not just talking about Black Lives Matter here in the United States, but France and throughout Africa, the Caribbean. We need to hear from you now what's going on to our Haitian brothers and sisters. This is a shame, the inhumane treatment of our brothers and sisters at the borders of Texas, between Mexico and Texas, just the immigration policy, the Title 42, the immigration policy that Trump enacted, last year, and Trump is, and his presence is still in President Biden's administration, and they're still running with that. Oh, because Haitians may have COVID, we can't let them in. But you're gonna let 100,000 Afghanistans into the country. It makes no sense. So obviously, it's a racist. Racism is definitely the issue because they catering to the Afghanistans, flying them nearly 12,000 miles across the world to come to America to feed them, clothe them, give them vaccination, jobs waiting on them, welfare, the whole nine, which is cool, which is great for asylum seekers, right? But the catch is, Haitians are also seeking asylum. They are running for their lives. Threats are being made against them through the gang violence and the terrorists that are in Haiti, the natural disasters. I mean, come on, the two earthquakes. We still never even recovered from the 2010 earthquake. And then we got hit with another one in 2021. And then the assassination of the president, already a food scarcity going on in Haiti. But that doesn't deem them for asylum. But the Afghanistans, who's only running away from the Taliban, are worthy of asylum and all the special treatment, is it because of the black people, Haitians have the wrong skin complexion? Obviously it is, because every time there seems to be some sort of politician or policies during uh, immigration when it comes to black folks, Haitians, you know what I'm saying? I was going to say African Haitians because I call myself African Haitian. African Haitians compared to the Cubans, the wet foot, dry foot, send the Haitians back, keep the Cubans here. They touch the land, keep them here. They're safe, they're good. Welcoming party. Haitians come, send them to Chrome, ship them back to Haiti. No due process of the law, which is against the Geneva Convention, against international immigration policies. So United States is actually doing a criminal act by what they're doing with the Haitian people. And so I definitely need to hear celebrities, athletes, people with a voice, huge social media platforms. If you swear to God you about Black Lives Matter, you swear you love being black, black power. You know what I'm saying? You stand by the principles of Marcus Garvey, UNIA, Universal Negro Improvement Association. If you stand by his principles, if you stand by what Frederick Douglass was talking about, bigging ups to Haiti, you know what I'm saying? Giving props to Haitians and our African brothers and sisters in Haiti. Then you will stand up right now. Now is not the time to be silent. You know what I mean? They are people across hundreds of miles, walking hundreds of miles through jungles, through forests, sexual predators, robbers, they're getting robbed, getting killed, murderers, wives and children getting washed away by the waters. These types of tragedies are heartbreaking, like President Obama told ABC News. It's heartbreaking. Yes, it is. It's heartbreaking. President Obama didn't deal with the immigration issue, when he was president. Trump kind of dealt with it with the Title 42, which is probably, was all planned out. I truly believe, I'm going to go into what I really want to talk to you guys about right now. I truly believe that the United States government are working with whatever other government, they're great partners with Canada and France. France, obviously, were the colonizers of Haiti, which I'm going to get into right quick, that they are working on, and the reason why they deported, this is the biggest expulsion of people in U.S. recent history. You know what I'm saying? He done sent back over 2,000-3,000 Haitians back to Haiti, where they just literally ran for their lives from, without due process, which is illegal. They didn't get the right to see a judge in court to plead their case and to explain, hey, this is what's going on with my family. My children are starving. You know what I'm saying? Things are just haywire. People, and a lot of people think that the Haitians that were under the bridge or crossed those that big long hike through South America, Chile, Guatemala, you know what I'm saying, Brazil, that hike was arduous. This was an incredible mission. Now, this shows the resilience. This flag I'm wearing, the Haitian flag I'm wearing on my head, this is just shows the resilience of our Haitian brothers and sisters, our African brothers and sisters. And to be honest with you, like I just said, I truly believe that the U.S. is working on they need a slave labor, a slave force to work what they're getting ready to do in Haiti, because they did it in 1915. When U.S. originally occupied Haiti, 1915 to 1934. For those years they occupied Haiti, they killed over 2,000, 3,000 people in Haiti, executed the revolutionaries who were trying to fight against U.S. occupation, because they forced the people to work, to build roads, bridges, dams. This was a forced labor, working gangs. You know what I'm saying? They forced them to work. If you didn't work, you got killed. As a matter of fact, there's documents stating that when the U.S. Marines, by the way, which is about, I want to say 300 Marines came to the country. I want to say 300 Marines at the time came to the country. A lot more came in years later. They came into Haiti, 1915 to 1934, under Woodrow Wilson, you know what I'm saying, which is that Monroe Doctrine came from, and also the Big Stick policy that came from President Roosevelt. Now, Roosevelt, what he did was he incorporated the Big Stick policy with the Woodrow Wilson, the Monroe Doctrine. the Monroe Doctrine is pretty much saying that we're going to police this side of the Western Hemisphere, this side of the hemisphere, which we're in the West. By us doing that, by them creating the Monroe Doctrine, in a sense, they were telling the European powers in the East, do not come on this side of the globe messing with any of these countries. We got this. This is us, and we claim in Haiti. So by them going under that umbrella, it justified their illegal occupation of Haiti. You know what I'm saying? They justified their illegal occupation of Haiti. Now, this is what they did. Now, before I get into this, let me make the statement. You know, there was a CNBC reporter. He wasn't saying nothing wrong about Haiti. He was just making a statement that regarding Afghanistan, that U.S. has been heavily involved in Afghanistan for the past 2 decades, 20 years. So we are morally and legally obligated to bring in 100,000+, some people say 150,000 Afghanistans into America. Now, I'm for that. I'm for Arabs, I'm for Asians, I'm for everybody, but I'm primarily black first. I go for my black folks first because we have to look out for each other first. Not just, oh, we are the world and everybody hold hands, white boys and black girls holding hands going up and down the hill. No, ain't none of that. We got to take care of each other first. Now, when he said that, I'm thinking that, okay, that's a valid point. U.S. has been heavily involved in Afghanistan for 20 years, so they should feel some sort of obligation to take care of the Afghanistans. But what about Haiti? U.S. been heavily involved in Haiti for over 200 years. But then again, what about U.S. moral and legal obligation to help our Haitians? We have never seen that. You know why? Because black people, Haitians, are the wrong skin complexion according to white people. You know what I'm saying? Afghanistan is much lighter. So you guys better get prepared because they're going to take over. You already know the black community, when it comes to these liquor stores, corner stores, is Arabs who own these stores. You know what I'm saying? They own these stores and a lot of property as well. So get ready for that to be increased, because if they're bringing in 100,000 Afghanistans to take over jobs here in America, and they're kicking out Haitians to bring them back to Haiti, that's telling you that they have plans for the Afghanistans. They're going to work some sort of labor force, maybe over black people. I don't know. Now, by them saying they have this obligation to Afghanistan, they clearly show they don't care about us. As a matter of fact, Biden said it, if Haiti sinks, America, you know what I'm saying, that doesn't, it doesn't fit, it doesn't matter to U.S. policy if Haiti sinks. You know what I'm saying? If Haiti goes under, he doesn't care. As a matter of fact, Biden also said in the 80s that black people should be exterminated like roaches. But hey, now he's a president. You have the black folks, you know what I'm saying? Biden told y'all, if you don't vote for Biden, you're not black. That's what this guy said. So he is playing the ultimate chameleon. You know what I'm saying? Like this, I kind of took him for a joke, but now I see that he's somebody serious. May not have all the honor in the world, may not be a man of honor, obviously not a man of his word, because he told Haitians, he came to little Haiti in Miami, you know what I'm saying, told people, hey, we're going to do right by Haitians. The Haitian policies, immigration is going to be for the Haitians. We're going to be fair. It's going to be justice. Vote for Biden. They even had a big group of Haitians for Biden campaign going on. Where are they now? This Joe Biden that this great white hope we were praying for and standing up for and supporting. You see, we keep playing for these same games. They go off our emotions. Hoping that we forget history, because we're so consumed with our emotions that we forget history. History is doomed to repeat itself if you don't learn from it. That's the power about history. History has 1,000 answers for 1,000 problems. But now let me get to what I was going to mainly want to talk about. Now, in 1825, Haiti was forced to pay a big indemnity tax, right, to France, which was 150 million francs. This was and the king knew. There's documents showing that the king of France knew that Haiti could not pay that, and if they were to be given a tax like that, it will cripple the economy. That we'll never be able to pay that. It took us 125 years to pay that, from 1825, right? 1825, 150 million francs, and they so kindly reduced to 90 million francs. And let me tell you guys something. In 2021, that's equivalent to $22 billion. $22 billion. 80% of Haiti's GDP, 80% of Haiti's economy went towards paying this debt. For over 100 years, we had to pay this debt to France for fighting for our freedom. And those who don't know, Haiti is the first independent black nation, one of the first in the Western Hemisphere, and definitely it's the second country to have its, right to the Declaration of Independence, which was the Constitution of 1804. General Toussaint wrote, well, no, Jean Dessalines wrote 1804 one. Toussaint wrote the one in 1801. Now, by him writing this Constitution, he said everybody's born free. Jean Dessalines, who was part of the Haitian Revolution, well, he became Emperor Jean Dessalines under General Toussaint Louverture. He said this in the Constitution. He wrote that no foreigners can own land in Haiti because Haitians were smart, intelligent, and extremely, you know what I'm saying, warrior-like, because they came from the western part of Africa, the homie, which is today Benin, warrior kingdom Benin. He put in the Constitution no foreigners should own land in Haiti because they were concerned with foreigners controlling the country. Now, this is what the Germans did. Now, you have all these different foreign interests, different foreign powers coming into play, but this is what the Germans did. When the Germans came in, and this was what the U.S., this is why they wrote the Monroe Doctrine and the Big Stick Policy by, FDR, Roosevelt. They were afraid of the communists or the Easterners coming over to take over Haiti and, whatever Caribbean islands, in the Western Hemisphere, in the Americas. They didn't want their occupation there because it's too close to America. So what the Germans did, they married Haitian women to circumvent Jean-Jacques Dessalines' Constitution, which said no foreigners can own land. So if they marry a Haitian woman, now they're no longer a foreigner. They can buy land either through their wives or through the children that they have. America took it one step forward. Now, from 1915 to 1934, I mentioned the occupation. From 1911 to about 1919, there were 7 assassinations and coup d'etats in Haiti of Haitian presidents. 7 of them were removed forcefully or by death. So the U.S. were like, okay, this is it's unstable. Thanks to the U.S. because you guys occupied the land and you made it unstable. And not to mention, the United States stole 500,000 gold francs, 500,000 worth of gold francs from Haiti, Haitian National Bank, sent it to National City Bank of up there in New York, which is not Citibank today, but a national bank in New York. Now it's Citibank of today for safekeeping. You know what I'm saying? So Haitians just don't lose their money, right? Supposedly. And guess what? That money was never returned to Haiti. And why was it never returned to Haiti? So they can cripple and control the economy. Now I will tell you what they did do. They killed over 2,000 during the occupation of 1950-1934. They killed over 2,000, 3,000 people. I really think it's about 5,000 people. They just being moderate with the numbers. They murdered people. There was a soldier named Charlemagne Perrat. Charlemagne Perrat was a high-ranking official in the Haitian army and also police. Now, not only did the United States steal 500,000 worth of gold francs, by them doing that, they crippled the economy at the very beginning. Even when Haiti was started to bounce up a little bit, by them doing that, they crippled the economy. Couldn't pay for schools to be built, infrastructure, emergency medical assistance, medical assistance general with hospitals, paved roads. This crippled the economy. It literally halted the company from creating a stable environment for people. But Haiti still made a way. We were very resilient people. Obviously, we fought a 12-year war against France, Britain, and Spain because Haiti was always being occupied, always fighting, always fighting. That's why General Toussaint Louverture, what he ended up doing was he created a military dictatorship. Now, General Toussaint, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, and King Henry Christophe, those are the Black Tigers of Haiti. As a matter of fact, go look out for my presentation, possibly a book called Black Tigers of Haiti. They're removed from the picture. Now you have people like Charlemagne and his partner, which I want to make sure I have his name right. Charlemagne Perrault and Binot Béatreville. Binot Béatreville until 1921. Now these two guys I just mentioned, Charlemagne Perrault and Binot Béatreville, I want to say his name, they led revolution, a second wave of revolution against the United States. Now, once they caught Charlemagne, which, there's always going to be some kind of spy, just like Fred Hampton, Judas and Black Messiah, the federal agent infiltrated, the black federal agent infiltrated the Black Panther Party of Chicago, and that's how they got Fred Hampton. Same way they did Thomas Sankara up in Burkina Faso, land of the upright men. His best friend infiltrated, who was the leader of the army. You know what I'm saying? France paid him, and he assassinated Thomas Sankara, his best friend. So this is always going on and on and on in history where you be betrayed by your right-hand man, so be careful of your circle. You know what I'm saying? Keep your enemies close, but your friends closer. You know what I'm saying? Or keep your friends close, but enemies closer is what they say. Now, they caught Charlemagne, shot him in the head, tied him to a door, right? Tied him to a door with chains and had a donkey drag him through the city. Now, they thought this was going to put fear into the Haitians from fighting against the U.S. occupation because Haiti wanted to keep their sovereignty. We never wanted to be begging the United States or any of these foreign countries for help and support. We were doing our own thing. But they made it to the point where Haiti couldn't even pay his own officials. So that's why all these officials are constantly sticking and digging into their pocket because of what the United States did. Now, with the Haitian Treaty of 1915, which is the occupation, they changed the border of Haiti. Remember the story I just told you about German guys who were marrying Haitian women so they could buy land in Haiti so they can continue building and engineering things, because they built some tracks and a train system in Haiti too. Those guys didn't know Haiti used to have a train system back in the day. And streetcars. Really, really more like streetcars. Now, they try to muscle the country. They try to muscle the country. They try to get the president around 1917 to go ahead and change the legislation so that they can own land in Haiti, because in order to control Haiti or any land, you need to own the land. So the first puppet president of Haiti, this is what he did, right? The first puppet of Haiti, what he was able to do was dismantle the legislatures, state legislatures, from even being active, and they had him single-handedly pushing the America's agenda of allowing foreigners to own land. And this president named Philippe Dorival, whatever his name is, he was named Philippe. Now, wow, he was the first of many puppets in Haiti. The first of many puppets in Haiti. His last name is spelled Dartiquenave. So by Philippe doing this, he opened the floodgates for the U.S. to do whatever they want to do, however they want to do, because now they own the land in Haiti. Not only that, during the Haitian American Treaty of 1915, they were also allowed to have the U.S. Marines train Haitian soldiers, Haitian fighters, to become soldiers. So now, not only do the United States control the U.S. economy, they control the U.S. economy. The Haitian economy is also able to control the Haitian military force. So even though they withdrew out of Haiti because of all the revolts, because Haitian, we gonna fight. So even though the fact that Haiti kept on fighting, the U.S. withdrew out of Haiti finally in 1934, but they still had heavy influence in Haiti, and still to this day. Matter of fact, proof of that, you can see Jean-Pierre Aristide, the moment he asks about, France paying back reparations to Haitians for the slave tax they put on Haiti that crippled Haiti's economy, on top of the United States crippling the Haitian economy, stealing that 500,000 in gold and gold francs from Haiti. You see, ladies and gentlemen, the picture that I'm painting for you guys here is that the United States has always been involved in Haiti, extremely involved in Haiti, living in Haiti. They after the earthquake 2010, they put 25,000 U.S. Marines and troops into Haiti. 25,000. That's a bit excessive. Now, 2010 earthquake, and many believe, and I'm one of them believers too. I made plenty of videos about this in the past, even one this year, but I made one several years ago that, probably one of my most viral videos, one of them anyway, that the United States Marines had used the HARP technology to shake up the earth in Haiti to cause those earthquakes in 2010, and now some believe also in 2021. Because how the heavens does the Dominican Republic is not affected as badly, or any of the other Caribbean nations affected badly from this earthquake, but only in Haiti? And just so happens, right after 2010 earthquake in January 2010, they found over $40 billion within 30 days of the earthquake, y'all. And mind you, 25,000 U.S. troops were immediately sent to Haiti after the earthquake, and they found $40 billion, coincidentally found $40 billion worth of oil, gold, and minerals. There's plenty of articles about this, New York Times, Washington Post, you name it. Google it, you see what I'm talking about. Coincidentally, they found all this, right? But Haiti is supposed to be the poorest country of the Western Hemisphere. The reason why I'm telling you guys this right now is Haiti is not the poorest country of the Western Hemisphere. Haiti is possibly the richest country in the Western Hemisphere. Anybody who stands up against the United States of America, always get punished. Venezuela is struggling right now. Hugo Chavez, the former president of Venezuela, big ups to him. Matter of fact, Cap-Haitien Airport is named after him. He stood up to America. So coincidentally, he dies suspicious conditions. They claim it's cancer. Some people believe they put cancer in his pants and killed him, or poisoned him. He stood up and said this. He made a public statement that the U.S. has been digging and experimenting in Haiti, looking for oil and gold and minerals, and they found it. Now, over 300,000 people died in Haiti because of it. So if they're willing to kill 300,000 people in Haiti looking for oil and gold, it's nothing to send 15,000 of them back to Haiti seeking asylum, because they don't care about Haiti. They really don't. Haiti does not fit into their plan. The only plan the U.S. ever had about Haiti was to invade, exploit, and embargo Haiti, isolate Haiti for the embarrassment they caused the U.S., Spain, Britain, and France during the Haitian Revolutionary War, which was really a 12-year, possibly longer than 12 years. You know what I'm saying? So you guys don't follow the media. I know they're saying that people, Haiti is this, Haiti that. Listen, by now, with all the attention going on in Haiti, all the lights are shining on Haiti, on what's really been happening to the country over the years, over the past 200 years. You know what I mean? The occupation, 1915-34, I keep mentioning that situation. The indemnity tax that France put on Haiti, 1825. You know what I'm saying? The ousting of Jean-Pierre Aristide, who won 92% of the popular vote. The first democratically elected president of Haiti was kicked out of Haiti as soon as he asked for reparations to France, because he had the documents. Hey, this is illegal. This is crime against humanity. This is a war crime. You guys owe us this money. They kicked him out. As a matter of fact, he was only allowed to enter back into Haiti years later Years later, because they sent him to South Africa at first, the first time. Then they sent him to some, I believe, in New York the second time. They kicked him out of Haiti twice. Thanks to the U.S. The past 3-4 presidents of Haiti, Sweet Mickey, Preval, Joel Moise, who were just assassinated. Some many believe, obviously, that was the international plot right there that took them out. You got Colombian hitmen, you got Haitians on board of that. Some of the people ties to America, ties to Miami and Florida. So it's like all these games are being played in Haiti, and people are asking me, why Haiti? Why this? Why? I tell you why. Because Haiti is a filthy rich land. Haiti supplied 60% of the world's sugar at once upon a time, 50% of the world's coffee. Haiti also was able to, and this is during slave time now. Haiti fought and won independence during the height of slavery. You know what I'm saying? We didn't wait on massa. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, Haiti freed millions of people around the world. If you can make it to Haiti, you will be freed. If you were able to make it to Haiti around the 18th, you know what I'm saying, the early 19th century, late 18th century, if you could make it to Haiti under the leadership of General Toussaint Louverture, Jean-Jacques Dessalines, King Henry Christophe, you was able to make it amongst the time when these three gentlemen were in power in Haiti, you will be free. That's why they call Haiti Freedom Land. Haiti is the original freedom land. People from America was coming to Haiti. Matter of fact, Frederick Douglass used to promote all the time. Come to Haiti. He used to live in Haiti. So he seen how beautiful the land was. Haiti was one of them, was known as the Pearl of the Antilles. It was so beautiful and rich in culture, and it still is. Most of it still is. Just certain parts of Haiti is poor. It has been made poor, especially in big cities like Port-au-Prince, because thanks to the Clintons, people like the Clintons, they literally forced Haiti to increase the rice prices and flood the country with cheap rice from Arkansas. So people eating the cheap bleached rice, you follow what I'm saying? This cheap bleached rice. Haiti was made through agriculture. Haiti made their own rice. Haiti grew their own rice, and sugar cane and plantains and mangoes. Mangoes, another big business in Haiti. Haiti is one of the best feudal lands in the world. Haiti is one of the only places in the world, actually is the only place in the world that grows mangoes almost 12 months out the year. No one else does that. Haiti does that. Another thing is, I'm going to make another video about this. Another thing you guys don't know about Haiti is that Haiti is one of the #1 deposits of a very rare metal called iridium. Iridium costs nearly $6,000 an ounce. There's 32,000 ounces in a ton. So I want you guys to do the math on that. How many billions of dollars is that? Haiti, and what you use iridium for? Use it for spark plugs in all cars, using for spaceships and airplanes and missiles because it's heat resistant. It's the most densest, most heaviest metal, strongest metal in the world. Haiti has mountains of it. That's why many people believe Haiti is the actual real life Wakanda. So I'm painting this picture for you guys to have a good understanding of what's been going on back in 1995, in the 90s, or during the Woodrow Wilson, Roosevelt era. They all said peace, established peace and order in Haiti. Peace and order, which really means occupy, rob, steal, plunder. Same thing Napoleon was doing. Same thing George Washington, Thomas Jefferson was doing. As a matter of fact, they invested heavily to give money to Napoleon. $750,000, between $500 and $750,000 in the 19th century. You know how much money that is? That's a ton. That's money trucks worth of money. You know what I'm saying? To help France quell and quiet down the rebellion of the enslaved Africans. And guess what? We still won. We still won. We still put our foot up France's ass, embarrassed America, embarrassed France, Spain, and all of that. So, give you guys this quick history to let you guys know, look, man, Haiti is going to rise again. Haiti's still going to rise again. Don't even sweat. Forget listening to the news. Haiti is going to rise again. I need you guys to share this video. I need you guys to understand. Please support ATLforHaiti.com. Please support thecouragetobelieve.com and Athletes for Haiti. You know what I'm saying? Please support these organizations, the Courage to Believe International, ATF for Haiti, and also Athletes for Haiti is definitely on the Courage to Believe International as well. So thecouragetobelieve.com. I'm King Kevin Dorival, as you know, author, filmmaker, doing what it do. You know what I'm saying? Just chilling as usual, doing my thing, representing Haiti. We doing the work. We're gonna be going to Haiti pretty soon. Maybe even going back to the border. ATL for Haiti's probably going back to the border again. Definitely going to Haiti for Christmas and possibly before then, and then again for Christmas, just to help the kids, giving kids clothes and food. You're gonna see the videos and pictures of what we've been doing past recent months. You know, getting things packed up for Haiti. You know, thank God we've been working and doing things in Haiti for a couple of years now, and all of a sudden this happened. So we already have things in motion. We build up a lot of trust and credibility. We're not one of these flawed companies that people are worried about. We're not the biggest Red Cross and these other companies that are robbing and pillaging Haiti. I'm Pan-African, Haitian to the core, believe that, and I will do whatever I can and do even more of whatever I can for our people until we rise again. We're taking this war to the policy changes of Washington. We're taking this fight to Washington. We're going to change these policies, these illegal, inhumane policies towards our African brothers and sisters who need our help. African Union, where you at? National Black Caucus, where you at? The Caribbean Caucus, where you at? You know what I'm saying? And we definitely hope that the African Union, that our argument is heard to the African Union, why Haiti should be part of the African Union, especially when we fought and freed, you know what I mean, people in Africa. Matter of fact, Toussaint was getting ready to go to Africa to fight the Europeans at the slave ports. That's something they'll teach y'all in school, all about the Haitian Revolution. So do your homework. Don't believe everything you read in the media. Please support the real. You know what I'm saying? So go to my Instagram, @CourageToBelieve, @CourageToBelieve, @Courage2Believe. Twitter, Facebook, you will see the videos and pictures of the things that we've been doing in collaboration with different organizations. Shout out again to Mission of Grace of Haiti, Mrs. Kim. Shout out to her. You know, she's a white lady lived in Haiti and been doing great things there. So, and ATL for Haiti.com. Shout out to Megan and everybody who's there, that team who's been doing great works in Haiti, and everybody who's been supporting us. Dr. Boris Watkins, Jay Morrison. Shout out to you guys. Thank you for your support. Please continue supporting. This is not no one-time donation, a one-time charitable act, or one-time helping somebody in some kind of mission to Haiti. This is a battle. It's ongoing. Haitians fought for 12 years for our independence, for their, you know what I'm saying, to gain freedom. So we can volunteer a few times. We could donate a few times. Power to the people. King Kevin.
Abolish ICE and close down the detention when they send the Haitians. They locked them in cages. They took them from the prison. They sent them to across the country and put our Haitian people in cages. We would not allow that in this country. Because Haitians are welcome here. Y'all say Haitians are welcome here.
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 Thank you. I love you guys. The program is over. But your work is not over. There's a number to call. Call the White House and tell them to stop the deportation.
Yes! Stop deportation!
Stop the deportation. That's who we are. Thank you.